Smart Schwarzman, MTC Media. Relatively speaking, a lot of times there's not any drama in golf that's outside of the course. Yeah, every now and then get some bickering back and forth. Woods Mickelson, Woods, Sergio Garcia, Kepka, and DeChambeau. But this is some drama that is actually worthy of being covered, which is PGA Tour versus LIV Golf. LIV Golf is the one that is backed by the Saudis, with Greg Norman being their front guy, which probably could have gotten a better front guy than that guy. But what has happened is you're starting to see golfers commit to the London event, even though the PGA Tour has been very, very clear that they will look to strip memberships if you play in those events. And a lot of them are going to see if the PGA Tour is truly going to do this. And this could be one of those things like you saw with the NCAA that could end up being in court, because the truth of the matter is our golfers, the big question is, are golfers independent contractors? And if they are independent contractors, that kind of muddies the water on what the PGA Tour can do. But guys like Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson has already said they're going to play in the London event. As of this morning, Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed looks like that they're heading that way too. Other guys you might know, well, you'll know if you're more than a casual golf fan. But Graham McDowell, Brandon Grace, Kevin Na, Louis Oosthuizen, Lee Westwood, Martin Keimer, Sergio Garcia, all looks like they're going to be making that move. And here's the big thing now. Allegedly, Tiger was offered close to $1 billion and he turned it down. Jack Nicklaus was offered reportedly around in excess of $100 million to have his involvement, and that was also turned down. And so what's the big difference? The big difference is sort of the guaranteed money, appearance money, however you want to put it, that guarantees these guys are going to get paid. That's the kind of the off the course difference. And that means when you show up, I'm going to be collecting this check. And the PGA Tour is still where it is, which is if your money that you'll make on the course will be based on where you finish. And they don't want to have appearance fees. And they've done some manipulation to kind of pay you for alleged value, but it's not a free market setup. It's, well, we'll do this in a way that we feel comfortable, as opposed to the way that the market drives it. So if you're looking for competition, pure free market, those type of things, LIV Golf is going to end up being a good thing, no matter as far as an on course, as far as golfers being able to benefit, because choices and options always drive that market up, and they'll be able to have a market that might offer them more on one or the other, or might fit them better one on the other. And so from that perspective, if you're looking for something to say, hey, this is good for golf, you can look at it from that perspective. Now, some of the on course differences, instead of it being individual, this is like a team competition, 12 teams, 48 players, 3 rounds, not 4, no cuts. So in that sense, you are guaranteed to see those names and those teams throughout the entire weekend, no matter how they're playing. So whether this is good or bad for golf itself waits to be seen. The initial reaction is going to be that it's bad for golf. You should have everyone on the tour, between the European Tour and the PGA Tour. Everyone should be on the tour. You get the best competition. So on and so forth. But again, the PGA Tour can mitigate this by not having the line drawn in the same type of attitude that they have right now, where you can have both. Now, let's not get it twisted. The PGA Tour does not own every event. So you're going to see guys in the U.S. Open, because that's a USGA event. So you're going to see some guys who play this weekend. You'll see Dustin Johnson in it. You'll see Phil Mickelson in it if he chooses. Tiger won't be in it because he's injured. But those events can still invite those players. The PGA Tour can't prevent them from playing in those events. And if you're asking why did some people resign and some people didn't, my understanding is the resignation thing is more of a legal move, trying to cut off avenues for PGA Tour to seek damages. Now, Phil Mickelson did not resign because he said that he feels like he earned the right to have the exemptions that he's had. He wants to hold on to those exemptions, and I think he wants to buy time to see if there can be some agreement where he can come back over there. But it doesn't look like this thing is going away anytime soon. It does not mean that it's not going away. It could be around for 2 or 3 years. It's going to be around as long as the money's going to be around. And who knows how long the money is going to be around and the interest is going to be around. And so for those who are making these overarching declarative sentences, we got to wait and see. Now, how will it be covered? I do think it'll be covered, even though some of the traditional media feels a little dirty about covering this. But we haven't seen this since the AFL, NFL, and the ABA, NBA, where there could be truly something to challenge the established leagues. So I don't know if this is going to be good or bad from a golf perspective. I'm not talking about off the course. That's a discussion that this forum is not made for. But from a golf perspective, it'll take time. Now, once those mergers happen, I know we have the USFL, NFL thing, but these professional sports used winning these cases, and in these cases, the mergers, to solidify antitrust exemptions, so on and so forth, to almost pretty much guarantee that it won't happen again or it's not viable to happen again. So this is an interesting experiment, especially if it gets in court, and how the current court system will look at these professional sports that are legalized monopolies. Will those things stay? And that is the thing that I am intrigued by in all of this, is if the PGA Tour takes these guys to court, how the courts will see this proceed, the procedures, the little exemptions they're given, the designations, whether it's their 501(c) or C3, and those type of things. Those things could be going away. So the PGA Tour could be taking a risk, just like the NCAA took a risk. But as far as on the course, could be intriguing. Now, how does this impact the PGA Tour? I don't think it impacts it at all. If you look at the names on there, yes, there's a Dustin Johnson stuff, but they're not losing the current to next generation, and that's what we have to watch. Will the men coming out of college look at the PGA the same way, or if they get an offer from LIV Golf, would they say, "Hey, look, man, this is guaranteed money. I don't have to go through the whole qualification process. I might just go ahead and take this money, see how this works, and I can always go back and try to qualify for the PGA Tour." If the young golfers don't do that, then yeah, you might see some older guys, and maybe it impacts the senior tour, but you might see some older guys near the end of their career go over. But I don't think it's the impact from a name perspective on the PGA Tour that people are claiming that it is. But again, time will tell. It's Marcus Washington for MTC Media.